Oh my goodness. Alright. We're here, boys. We're live. We're starting a bit early. Alright. Yeah, so we've got a new box to look at apparently. Some new cards to look at. I've heard. Some pretty good ones from what I've read. Some Orcusty stuff. Some stuff that's looking pretty meta relevant, so... Some stuff that's looking pretty meta relevant. Hopefully. There you go. Enough of that. Alright. So yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff to look at. It's all looking pretty good though. Especially this nice looking compulse up here that I've been missing from my collection for a while. Ready to get tier 0? Please, I've had enough of that at Master Duel. Please give me a non-tier 0 format. Surely this one won't suck. There seems to be a lot of good stuff in here, so I'll be surprised if it ends up being tier 0. Yeah, also Terraforming as well. So I guess we might as well show that off first before we start. I don't even know where that is. There's the card trader one. Where's the... Does it show it on this page? Oh, it does. There it is. Got Terraforming coming. See a new crafting thing? Yeah, I wouldn't get too excited about this one, boys. This is definitely a paid for service. But yeah, seems like a good sale. I assume it will literally just be like you can exchange box chips for the box cards. I imagine. I assume it will. But yeah, you have to pay for these, so don't be thinking, oh shit, crafting and dueling. Oh, it's paid for, buddies. All right, it ain't free. Magistus might be good for side decking. Maybe. I don't even know what Magistus does when they don't have their lock. Do they just lock with the synchro? How do they even play without it? Do they play without it? Is that a legitimate deck without their synchro? I actually don't know how that deck even functions without its synchro. I assume it doesn't. The skill chips on a random one? Oh god. Oh, if this is random. Randomized ultra rare, please no. Don't do this. Look at every event. Now you're on some major copium. With a purchase bonus, box chips. That's where it's coming from. We're not getting these for free. That is very copium. Extreme copium. I think we're getting those for free. Alright, what are these? I don't even know what deck this dude uses, this Quinton guy. What does he even use? Who are you? I think these were leaked the other day anyway, so I don't think I really need to go through them. Alright. Yeah, we're getting Terraforming. Not sure. We have no clue if it's limited to 1 or not. So, 0 clue if it's limited to 1 or not. If it's limited to 1, it'd be really weird, because the main decks that are probably going to be using it at the moment are, well, a certain deck that's currently being released. Where's the, card trader man? Yeah, a deck that's going to be released that wants to use its field spell, but the field spell is limited to 1. And the other one is, obviously... you know, a certain Trickstar deck that is limited to 1. So they do limit Terraforming to 1. It's already unable to be played with both of those decks, so it'd be kind of odd. It's like, hey, I'm going to buy this bundle and not be able to use it. But then, also, if you think about it, why on earth would this be at 1, or especially just this one, why is this one at 1 if it wasn't meant to be paired with this? Because there's no other, like, limit 1 cards this deck was running. So it's like, why was it put to 1 in the first place? It clearly was aimed at something, so maybe it was aimed at the future Terraforming release. Try mid support, Gabba. Yeah, so I don't know. It's very sus. We don't know if it's limited to 1 or not. Dream mirrors? Okay, now we are in the realms of copium. The deep realms of copium dream mirror. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can see why this one, this one's limited to one, because there's like some other limit one cards that sort of would get used with this in the extra deck. But I don't really see why the light stage would be at 1 if it wasn't meant to coincide with a certain release being put to 1. I don't know. It's sus anyway. Alright. So now we've looked at that stuff, let's have a look at the stuff we're here for. Yay! New cards! Yay! Alright, so we've got a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot of archetypes to go through, so I guess we'll just get started, I guess. You know Terraforming will be definitely broken. Element Saber deck. Oh yes, invoked Element Saber. Gonna come back to tier 1 with that 1 copy of Terraforming. You right. Alright. Xyz Revenge Shuffle. When a face-up Xyz monster you control is targeted for an attack, target one Xyz monster in your graveyard, return that face-up attack target to the extra deck, then special summon this card from the graveyard. If you do, attach this card to it as Xyz material. Wow. That's a whole lot of words for a whole lot of nothing. Unfortunately, Battle Trap, you know how it goes. We've done enough. I've done enough of these reviews now where you guys know if it's a Battle Trap, we ignore it. This is like, get it? Just pretend it doesn't exist. Moving on. Please tell me there's an OP normal monster. Oh, we've got one coming up. Don't you worry. We've got one set. All right. Token Stampede. All tokens in attack position gain 1,000 attack. Also, they cannot be destroyed by battle. Okay. Sure. Someone will find some meme deck for this or some meme purpose. Obviously hot garbage, but hey, I don't know. Maybe we're gonna play it in our. I don't know. What token decks even exist? What is it, Mecha Phantom Beast support? Jama support? I thought the idea was to give your opponent the tokens though, no Jama. I'm sure we want to boost our opponent's attack. Trickstar tokens, true. Scapegoat bundle soon. Oh my god, you figured out the code. Damn, genius right there. You figured out the code. Dual avatar. Alright. White hole. Okay. I know where this card's going. When your opponent activates Dark Hole, monsters you control cannot be destroyed. Oh my god, that is incredible. Holy, that is crazy. This thing has searched by popularity, right? Does. Let's have a look. I'll just get my spell. Let's see, how far do we have to scroll before we see Dark Hole in the spell section? Alright. Alright, I'm not seeing any Dark Holes yet. Alright, still not there it is! Okay. We can have a counter to the, what's that? 5, 10, 15, 20... 24th most popular spell card in the game. Holy, thank you, Konami. I was waiting for this release, honestly. What a card. The best side deck. The meta is finally saved. The 24th most popular card. Hell yeah. I'm onto it. Alright, moving on. Enough of this silly business. The Forceful Checkpoint. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, look at your opponent's hand. And if there is a monster card, negate the attack and discard one monster from their hand. Bit rude. Obviously a battle trap, so again garbage, but hey, it's a little bit rude. At least it's a good meme card, I guess. I think this trap card should be when your monster declares an attack. So you can just discard your opponent, have another way to discard your opponent's hand, you know? But yeah, we're not playing this garbage. There's literally trap cards where you can just look at your opponent's hand and discard something without making them attack, you know? We're not using that shit. Alright. S-Force Specimen. Okay. If your opponent controls a monster, target one of your S-Force monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, special summon it to your field in the same column as an opponent's monster. You banish this card from your graveyard, the target one S-Force monster you control, and move that target to another of your main monster zones. You can use one S-Force Specimen effect per turn only once that turn. Right, so I don't really know how S-Force works. I played against it once in Master Duel, and that's the only time I've ever encountered it. I think it was during an event, so I don't really know what this archetype does. I've heard there's like board locking or something that goes on. I've got a bunch of corrections in chat for it. How do you want me to pronounce it? Specimen? Is that what you're going for here? I'm just gonna say specimen, alright? I don't know if that's how you meant to pronounce it or what. That's what I'm gonna go for. Do you just want S-Forces in the same column or something? Space what? Ayo! Huh? Special Ed Forces. Fuck's sake. Alright, so I assume this card's not going to be that great, but... Yeah, I don't really know what the archetype does yet, so it's hard to judge cards that do stuff, like put things in the same columns, when I don't really know if that's like a useful thing, you know? Yeah, I don't know, maybe this card will be used, I have no clue, so I don't really know what the archetype does yet. I have to wait to see what the actual cards do before I can judge that kind of shit. The elite monster will make it make sense? Okay. Alright. Orchestrated release. Oh, is that an ORCUST pun? Oh, I see what you did there. Oh. Tribute 2 machine monsters, then target 1 monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. If your opponent controls a elite monster, you can target 2 monsters instead. Alright, so a load of garbage. Perfect. Just what I wanted to read. Alright, moving on. Narrow Pass. Oh my god, what is that? What is that monster in the bottom left, and why isn't it released as an actual card yet? Dude, I want that thing as a card. You guys know what I'm talking about there? It's like this little dude in the bottom left, little mohawk guy. Why isn't he an actual Yu-Gi-Oh card yet? Wait, is there a guy with like an Elvis Presley haircut in the top right as well? What is going on in this card art? Is this a good time to start Duel Links? I don't know. The game's... There's definitely free-to-play stuff to get in the game, so I guess it's alright. It always has been free-to-play stuff in the game. But if you're expecting Duel Links to be as free-to-play as something like Master Duel, then Master Duel isn't always going to be more free-to-play. Especially on, like, initially going into Master Duel, you get way more. Like, as a new player, I mean. The top right is just Elvis? Oh. Alright. This card can only be activated when both players have 2 monsters or less in their respective sides of the field. Okay. Both players can only normal summon up to 2... Both players can... what? Both players can only normal summon up to 2 additional monsters on their side of the field. Okay. So you activate this, and then your opponent has... For the next 2 turns can still normal summon, then the turn after it stops them. Was this the Flunderees counter? Like, what am I reading? I don't think I've ever read a more useless trap card. What is this thing? Bottom left, dude, I'm stuck, step bro. Yikes. Groundbreaking. Love the card art, though. Love the card art. Like, compare this card... Why can't this card art be our Compulse card art, huh? It's so much better. You Senju counter? Alright. Imperial Custom. Face up continuous trap cards cannot be destroyed except continuous custom. Holy shit, we have protection for our narrow pass. Oh my god, we've broken the meta already. We're less than 10 cards in and we've already busted the meta. I don't know why you'd ever play this card. The next card is half broken. I think I see what you did there. Oh, the half unbreak. I saw what you did there. Target one monster on the field. This turn, that monster cannot be destroyed in battle. Also, any battle damage you take from attacks involving that monster is halved. Alright. So, a load of garbage. Honestly, probably the best card we've reviewed so far, though. Other than, of course, the white hole, of course. That goes without saying, though. Hey, thank you, CB. I think I have my alerts off. I do. My bad. Thank you for the membership again, buddy. Appreciate it. Hopefully I'll still play. I'll just click it again just in case.
Loom, you worthless piece of shit.
Thank you for the 22 months. That's actually a long amount of time.
Get your life
Alright.
together.
Our first lot of Onomatopoeia support. Guard. Alright. You control 2 or more face-up Gaga monsters this turn. Monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. Uh-huh. Yeah, typically these stopping your stuff being destroyed by card effect stuff just doesn't really end up being useful. Like it sounds good in theory, be like, oh, my board can't be destroyed, but in practice it's kind of like, would you really run this over just having some generic removal or just stopping your opponent playing the game in general, you know? Also, I don't think Gaga monsters or Gaga fields end up with actual Gaga monsters. They generally go into generics, so yeah, it's a bit unlucky for that one. Alright. Rush. This guy got a hand coming out of his hat? It's kind of sick. Can we get a zoom in on that? When a face-up Gaga monster you control is targeted by the effect of an opponent's monster, negate the effect of that opponent's monster, and if you do, destroy it. And inflict damage to your opponent equal to its destroyed monster's attack or defense in graveyard, whichever is higher. Yeah, unfortunately, it's always been the case. Targeting, negating effects never work. I forgot what the name of the card is, but there's literally been a trap card in Duel Links for God knows how long that's had like the you target this thing, you negate it effect, and it never got used. It was always garbage, so... Is that it? Actually sounds familiar. Is that it? No. I think it's a trap card. Anyway, there's been a trap card that's been in the game for forever. Oh, it's the dog. It's a doggo. It's not a hand coming out the hat. It looks like a hand coming out the hat to me. It's the doggo. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, it's never going to be used. Alright. Discord. I assume it's not talking about the app. Neither player can synchro summon. Send this card to the graveyard during your third end phase after this activation. Okay. I'm not talking. No, Skill Prisoner was okay, because Skill Prisoner didn't Skill Prisoner have like a graveyard effect or something? Didn't it? Yeah, this had a graveyard effect that made it much better. So this card is definitely a side deck sort of card. Discord mods be like. Yeah, it's like a tournament side deck sort of a card, or a tier 0 meta where Synchro just overloads some ladder or something, sort of a side deck card. Otherwise you're not going to use it. Obviously. So definitely not a ladder card. Just not a ladder card. Fun fact, this card shot up in price when Sword Soul was announced, but never ended up seeing play.
Shut up, Mokuba.
Gaga Magician attacks by throwing hands in the anime, so he's dunking on the light sword dog.
He's dunking on him. How dare you? I'm calling Peter. That is animal abuse right there. Thanks for the $5, buddy. Alright. Magistus? The first time each Magistus monster equipped with an equipped card be destroyed battle each turn, it is not destroyed. Pretty irrelevant effect. You can use one of the following effects once per turn. During your main phase, you can spell or summon one level 4 spellcaster monster from your hand. Could be relevant, but not really, because the Magistus already summons one from hand. So the main one already summons one from hand. You send this face-up card to the graveyard, special summon any non-Magistus monster different names from your hand. I mean, it's not a bad card, but I don't think it'll be, you won't see play just because, like, as far as I know, well, yeah, this dude just summons from hand anyway, so it's not hard to go into their Xyzes and stuff. Or Synchros if we were getting them, but I don't think we are. But maybe it'll be relevant for, I don't know, I don't know. It's not awful if it's searchable. You might be able to make some sort of combo out of it, or I don't know. Maybe you have to run it because you can't just rely on just this dude and you haven't got any other ways to special summon multiple times, but I doubt it. I think this is probably going to be a not used card. Zones are going to be tight for Magistus. Probably doesn't have a place, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't see it being that useful. Well, I don't really know what I honestly have no clue what Magistus even does when they're not locking your opponent out of using their Synchro XCs or whatever with that Synchro. So I don't even know what the deck actually does. I don't remember. I've made a video on it, but I made it just locking your opponent. I don't know what the deck does when it's not meant to be locking. You know, when you're actually letting your opponent play Yu-Gi-Oh, like, I don't know what it does. Anyway, 0 called 0. I was gonna say cock, and that did not sound right. All right, your opponent cannot target face-up attachment monsters with 0 attack for attacks. What? Okay. Wow. Awesome. Actual Ojama support. Oh, is it Ojama's a 0 attack, aren't they? Why am I even looking this up? It has no relevance. Nobody cares. Anyway. They do have 0 attack. There you go. There's your Ojama support for the Bucks. Zrock. Time Lord support? Yeah, perfect. Those monsters that your opponent's not going to be attacking anyway could now not be targeted for an attack. Perfect. You Bell support. Alright. Staring Contest. Alright. When you special summon a monster to the extra monster zone, you can target one monster in your opponent's main monster zone. Move that target to the zone in the same column as the extra monster zone monster. Right. When your opponent special summons a monster to the extra monster zone, you can target one monster in your main monster zone, move that target to your zone in the same column as the extra monster zone monster. These effects cannot be activated in the damage. Surely this could have been worded in a way that wasn't just absolute, like, just trying to make my mind explode. I don't know what I'm reading here. I get what it means, but it's just worded so dumbly. S-Force card pog. Yeah, I had to know what the S-Force Link Monster stuff does, because I think someone was trying to say that for this one too. Apparently S-Force stuff just wants to have things in the same column. I don't know what the cards do yet, so we have to wait to see what the S-Force stuff does, to see if this card even needs play. Because I assume with all these cards that I'm looking at right now in the normals, normally normals don't see a whole lot of play, so I assume the S-Force stuff doesn't need, like, spells or these traps to sort of do it. They're going to be doing it without it. I'm assuming. They just have their own, like, in-art type stuff that just moves stuff without having to worry about having a trap card that does it. I'm assuming. I don't actually know what the cards do yet, so I'm just assuming we won't need these. S-Force, he finally ended mech by purple to 3 and blue.
Shut up, Mokuba.
If y'all want a spicy Time Lord support card, play Battlemania. It's funny.
Oh, that's the thing
me.
that forces you to attack, right? I think. No. And I can't spell. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the trap card that forces you to attack, right? Alright. Moving on. Star Changer. Quick play spell. Target one face-up monster in the field and activate one of these effects. Increase the target to my... Okay. Alright. Yeah, no, we're not playing this. That's a no. That is a no. FA support? Yeah, that's definitely a no from me, guys. I'm afraid we're not playing this card. Alright. S-Force Showdown. Activate one of the following effects. Special summon one S-Force monster in your hand in defense position. Target one S-Force monster in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. and it's a quick play. Again, don't know what the cards do yet, so it's really hard to judge whether or not you want one of these. Like, for example, if they work similar to how Mekhanite work with that one spell card, where if you summon it straight to the zone in front of it, they get like a negate. So like you wait for your opponent to summon to a particular column, then you activate this, summon from hand to that same column and negate. That'd be kind of cool. But I don't really know what S-Force does yet, so I don't know. Do we want this card? Zero clue. Literally no clue. So until we get to the actual S-Force cards, a lot of these S-Force stuff is just going to be like, maybe we use it, maybe we don't. I have no idea. I can see something like this being played. Especially if it's like a searchable thing. Suck Force. Alright. Chronomaly Temple what the fuck is that? Triathelion? The wording. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control are Chronomaly monsters, you can pay 500 life points immediately after this resolves and normal summon one Chronomaly monster from your hand. Okay. If a Chronomaly or number exceeds monsters you control would activate an effect by detaching material, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. Okay, so I don't think we need this because Chronomaly already, Chronomaly already has a functioning deck in Duel Links that would summon out whatever you want without having to have extra normal summons or anything. So I don't really see a need for this. So it's cool. I guess if you want to have multiple Xyz summons in a turn, like have a sort of a more, I don't want to say win more, but maybe more of a win more board, maybe you'd use this just to have more stuff. But I don't think, yeah, Chronomaly, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be quite happy just setting up the little Xyz dude that's coming up here for your turn 1 play now, and they're going to be doing it quite easily. I don't think you need this. This will let you play through disruption, true, but so just having an MST so your opponent doesn't disrupt you. Like I think in Duel Links it's a bit different to how games like Master Duel work, where if you just have things like, instead of having extra special summoning stuff, you can always just say, I just want to run MST or Book of Moon instead. And that basically acts the same purpose. Remove the disruption before it disrupts you, kind of stuff. Good with the Chronomaly skill, that gets a benefit from using Chronomaly spell and traps. Okay. I have no idea what that skill is. I haven't played Chronomaly in forever, but sounds good. Actually, I have no idea. We'll look up the skills and stuff at the end. The good Chronomaly skill locks you into only Chronomaly effects. Oh, so you can't use MST. Okay, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. So way to play through disruption, alright. I know that Archetype does have some special summoning monsters though. Level 5 is special summonable. Chronomaly. Right. It's Mally, right? Mally. Is it this dude that's special summonable as well? I mean your opponent controls the monster, but that's when the disruption is, right? I don't know. Could be good. Could be a way to play through disruption. We'll see. Not the worst card, especially for a continuous, I guess. Alright. Castle Link. Another field spell, okay. Once per turn, you can target one link monster on the field, move it to a main monster zone it points to, or on its controller's field. Once per turn, you can switch locations of 2 link monsters in your main monster zones. Okay. Or 2 link monsters in your opponent's main monster zones. Alright. So, again, I assume this must be some sort of S-Force-y sort of card, maybe? I don't know. It seems pretty garbage, though. We even have skills in Duel Links that move stuff, so... Probably not, no interest in this. But I assume this is aimed at, like, the S-Force moving stuff, so... Again, just wait till we look at S-Force cards before going to that kind of stuff. But this one does seem pretty garbage. Alright. A traffic control. A traffic control? I haven't know how to pronounce that. If your opponent controls 3 or more monsters, they cannot declare an attack. Okay. Cool. More sort of, shitty spell cards. Nice. Alright. Number 31, Embodiment of Punishment. Okay, where's his buddy? It's right next to him. Okay, so these two are a battle locking thing, right? 2 level 1 monsters. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can attach when it sees material from this card, change all monsters your opponent controls to face up attack position, and all monsters all monsters your opponent currently controls must attack this card this turn. If able, while you control number 13 on your crime, this gains this card's effects. This card cannot be destroyed, battle, or card effects while it sees material. Your opponent takes any battle damage or taken from attacks involving this card. And you can also summon the other one, which does the exact same thing, that's what I'm pretty sure. Once sending during either player's turn, it's blah blah. Pretty sure it's the exact same thing, right? Yeah, it just has as the other one. So cool cards that I don't think I need to bother really going through because I already know they're both garbage, so. Broken Inner Skull server deck. Yeah. It's an awful lot of work for a whole lot of nothing, is the thoughts on these ones. There's not a whole lot of decks that have this many level 1s, and the ones that do certainly don't want to summon these. Alright. Raise the Ice Mistress. This card cannot be strike battle with a level 4 or higher monster, bro. How many of these sort of garbagey cards are we going to read through? Don't we already have like a little bird with 1900 attack that does something similar to this? Or a certain Destiny Hero monster that does something similar to this? I thought there's already like a billion cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That have this card's effect. Hidden Ice Barrier card. I mean, this is a tuner. I mean, it has the benefit of that, I guess. I think a 99's they copied one. I do like how it's the numbers flipped. That's kind of cool. 31 and 13. That's pretty cool. Pretty thematic. Your decider. Alright. Okay, here's an S-Force card. Our first actual S-Force monster. Alright, what does this do? Each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as an S-Force monster cannot change its battle position. Okay. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change its battle position. Okay. I mean, I can see some use for this. Like, during the battle phase, you'll special summon it with something like this and change the monster attacking to defense. It can no longer attack. Cool. I guess just putting things in defense so you can beat over them by battle is also fairly relevant, I guess. I assume this is on the weaker side of the effects of these monsters, I imagine. Yeah, it doesn't sound all that great, but I can see some uses. Maybe if we just lower monsters, you'll use this because there's just not much else to play, but it's not awful. Oh yeah, also Link monsters, of course. There's literally no point targeting Link monsters with this, but yeah. But maybe there's just not enough S-Force monsters, so you have to play this? I don't know. It's not the worst effect, I guess. I've seen worse monsters in the game. Alright, Mind Protector. Damn, this guy's got a banger of a card art too. What's this, Blitzcrank? Alright. This card's controller must pay 500 life points during each of your opponent's standby phases. If they cannot destroy this card, monsters with 2000 or less attack cannot declare an attack, except... What's with these monsters not being able... All these cards not being able to attack in this pack? Bro, can we get some other sort of card effects going on here? Don't look at this card, it's Garbanzo, but it's a card art though. Yeah, I feel like half the cards we've read so far have been something to do with just stopping your opponent attacking. Like, bro. Alright. Security Force or a Fist. Alright, a bit of fisting. Your opponent cannot target any of their monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters with card effects. Your opponent cannot target any of their monsters in the same column with the card effects. That is very oddly specific. When a monster your opponent controls activates its effect, quick effect, you banish one S-Force card from your hand. Destroy that monster. Okay, the second effect made this a lot more worth it. Okay, that actually sounds pretty decent. So that's annoying in a lot of decks, I think, to a lot of decks. Even just a lot of decks like to do link summons or synchro summons, just popping the monster when it tries to use its first effects, they can't do that. Yeah, it's like a worse Ghost Ogre. Okay, not bad. Sure. I can see this seeing some play. The first effect is completely irrelevant. I don't even know what decks target their own monsters. That is so specific. But yeah, not bad, not bad. I can see this seeing some play, especially if there's a lot of decks that specifically need to use their first monster for link summoning or whatever summoning, Xyz summoning, synchro summoning, which a lot do in Duel Links, to be fair. So they can't lance it, right? Yeah, sure. Does protect against lance. Yeah, that's probably the main one, I guess. Not bad, not bad. PK targets their own monsters, breaks or targets itself plus... Oh, okay, that's something. Rockets, they also... Yes, true. Actually, it's a couple of niche counters, huh? Very niche, so... I guess it is something. Second effect is probably the more useful one, though. Alright. Numeral Hunter. If this card is summoned, return all Xyz monsters on the field to the extra deck. Okay. Neither player can special summon number Xyz monsters. Cannot be destroyed battle with an Xyz monster. This card is unaffected by the effects of Xyz monsters. Alright, again, another side deck sort of a card. Probably one of the worst side decky cards. I'm pretty sure most side deck stuff would be actually like trap card based. I assume there's already some sort of floodgate trap cardy effect you could use in the game that does something similar to this. It doesn't take like your normal summon to do it. But yeah, another side deck card, I guess. I don't know about this one. It's kind of thematic, is kind of cool though. Alright, moving on. Chronomaly Colossal Head. Okay. You manage this card from your graveyard to target one level 3 or higher attack position monster on the field. Change it to face up or face down defense position. Okay, it's also a rock monster, by the way, so it works in those rock decks to flip things. The effect of Chronomaly Colossal Head can be used once per turn, and it's pretty garbage. Book of Moon at home. The 5-head. Alright, yeah, this is pretty garbage. If he had some sort of special summon effect attached to him, having that flip effect is actually sort of relevant, but he doesn't. Yeah. Unless Chronomaly turns out to be a deck where you want to mill a bunch to the graveyard, then I don't know. I can't think of a word you want to use this. Alright. Millennium Golem, okay. For nearly a millennium, the Golem has served as guardian of an ancient treasure trove. 2200 defense. 2000 attack. Holy. This dude is crazy. Not even a full millennium? That is some rookie numbers, Mr. Golem. What the hell? Absolute rookie numbers. What's this card's card art like looking like? Who's this dude look like? Why do I keep recognizing it? Who is this? Isn't there a dude that's in this exact same pose? It's like a big rock guy. It looks so familiar. Is this going to be our replacement to to all the decks that were trying to use that skill that just got banned? Soldier of Stone? Maybe it does look pretty similar. This is now gonna be our replacement to Labyrinth Builder, now it's been banned. We'll have to run this instead. I reckon it could work as a pretty suitable replacement. One big rock for another. Yeah, can't be targeted by Fiendish Chain. You have a good point there, buddy. Good point. Alright. Moving on. On to the rares. Alright. S-Force Chase. Target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of S-Force monsters you control with different names. Return them to hand. Okay. That's pretty good. If an S-Force monster you control would banish a card from your hand to activate its effect, you banish the card from your graveyard instead. So it comes with a bonus effect, and it's basically that Yusendri trap card, right? It's got insane and searchable. It's basically the Yusendri trap card, and that's an ultra rare for that archetype. So the fact this is only a rare is disgusting. Really disgusting. Is it once per turn? It is once per turn. I wonder how relevant the graveyard effect is. So I don't know what the archetype does yet, but the first effect is absolutely disgusting. S-Force Compulse? It's stronger than Compulse. This thing only targets one thing, it only targets monsters. This thing targets all face-ups, right? Not that super relevant, but there's some face-up spells or traps you want to deal with. Yeah, it's actually nuts. Giga nuts. Is that IP Masquerena in the card art? Is that who that is? Isn't IP the cat girl? That's IP, isn't it? What's IP doing in there? What's going on? Is she an S-Force card? What is going on there? Norsan Rapper can use the effect to banish Graviton from hand to special from deck. This is going to make not much sense to me, buddy, until I've actually read the cards. But I'll take your word for it for now. In Master Duel, she's in the S-Force pack. Okay, just lore stuff. Alright. Utopia Buster. If you control Utopia monster, destroy the one face-up monster your opponent controls has the lowest attack. If you do inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's attack on the field, so I assume that'll be halved. Right. Okay, doesn't Gaga stuff already have a card that just targets the destroyers? But I guess this is for like if you want to play an actual just Utopia deck that isn't playing Gaga stuff. Yeah, hot garbage, moving on. Why is this card in the rares and not in the normals? Just comparing these two cards, like, bruh, why is this one a rare? Alright. Magistas Ritra? Target one level 4 lower Magistas monster in your graveyard, spell or summon it. If a Magistas card in your spell and trap card zone be destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Right. Okay, so the only time sometimes Monster Reborn style effects do get used, but it's only if they're searchable generally. Yeah, it's only if it's generally if it's searchable. I don't really see much of a reason to use it otherwise. It's like follow-up stuff. I guess if you have it's just extendary stuff. I don't know. I don't think it's probably not going to be used in dual links, I imagine. It's not awful. And Monster Reborn effects generally aren't bad, but it has to take up a slot in the game. It's generally more going to be used for... Unless the deck needs an extender specifically, it's not likely you're going to be playing a card to sort of bring stuff back later on, you know? It's better to set up a better turn 1 board than having sort of like top decky, bring stuff back later on sort of cards. So I don't particularly think Magistus is going to be struggling to set up whatever turn 1 board they're doing or need an extender, but if they do need an extender, then this card would be great. I just don't know if they'll need one. Searchable also makes it a lot better too. Just as a one-off, just searchable, maybe. And protection effect doesn't activate, so it can't be negated. Yeah. Yeah, it's a card that exists. It might get used, it might not. We'll see how it works. Especially a search ball might be a one-off sort of thing, and I don't know. We'll see. Magistus Invocation. Oh my god. Invoked support? Oh my goodness. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a spellcaster monster. Oh my god, it's actually invoke support. If summoning a Magistus fusion monster this way, you can also use monsters in your spell and trap card zones that are equipped to Magistus monsters. Okay. But Alistair's part of the archetype? It is? Really? Oh. That's kind of amusing. Okay. Well, this card seems okay, because I know the main Magistus stuff sort of yoink stuff out of your extra deck to put in your spell and trap card zone for instant fusion summoning if you want to, so I can see it being used. I don't remember what the fusion does, I see it coming up, but I don't actually remember what it does, so if the fusion's good, I'll assume you'll use the fusion spell. If the fusion's bad, then we probably won't, so well, it all depends on if this card's actually decent or not, I guess. But yeah, that's sure. The actual fusion spell is a good fusion spell. It's a good card, but it's whether or not the actual monster is good. I have to see. All right, quick play spell. Magistus Theurgy. Okay, target one Magistus monster you control. Equip it with one Magistus monster except a level 4 monster from your extra deck, graveyard or face-up field. Right, if you have at least one face-up Magistus Fusion, Synchro, Exceeds, and Link monster in your graveyard, okay, you can equip it with one non-Magistus Fusion, Synchro, Exceeds monster from your extra deck instead. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to be using this. Yeah, I was wanting to check something real quick. I think I forgot something. Oh no, we're good. My bad. Alright. My bad. Just check something. Alright. Alright, so I'm not sure if we're using this or not, because, like I said, I don't really know what Magistus does when they're not locking. This is pretty good for locking stuff, because the main way that I play Magistus in Master Duel, or how most people play, is they summon this dumb synchro, then when you attach different summoning mechanics to it, it locks your opponent out of summoning those mechanics. So this card would be pretty good for doing that strat, but I don't really know what summoning stuff from the extra deck does in this game. so I don't really know what we're going to be doing with this. It doesn't sound like the worst. Especially considering I know a lot of these cards have, like, a lot of the cards have effects when they're in the extra monster zone, like popping spell and trap cards, for example, which is this dude's, wherever he is. I assume he's in here. This one, I'm pretty sure, is popping spell and trap cards. So maybe we'll use this. Doesn't seem like the worst, but I don't really, yeah, I'm not sure. It also depends on if, like, we're actually struggling to get equips onto our monsters, which we might not be anyway, so then there's 0 point in having something like this. And again, it's probably searchable, so even as a one-off, it might be used. Makes the fusion attack twice or immune to destruction, so there's some uses for it. Yeah, have to wait and see. I'm not sure. The card doesn't seem that bad, but yeah, we'll see. Chronomaly Crystal Chrononaut. Chrononaut, okay. I've never seen this card before. I say 2 level 3 monsters. Once per turn, when this card is targeted for an attack, you attach material from this card. This turn, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. Also, your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card. Okay, moving on. Chronomaly Gordian Knot. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon one Chronomaly monster from your hand, and if you do, this card's level becomes the current level of that special summon monster. That's not the worst. Though the level 5, because I assume we're going to be trying to make this most of the time now. The level 5 is already special summonable, so I'm not sure what that achieves. But that's actually not an awful effect. Is there any level 5s in Chronomaly you want to use? I mean, all the level 5 special summon themselves anyway. Now, the card effect doesn't sound bad, but all level 5s already special summon themselves, so... Do we need it? Like, what's the target for this? What are we trying to summon? Just a level 4, I guess? Because Chronomaly is using things that are not just these, but using that other Chronomaly dude. He's level 5 as well. This makes them both the same level. Yeah, true. But that's I just say like I don't see the point. Why wouldn't we just play the special summoning dudes anyway? Because they all special summon themselves anyway. So we're getting a level 3 that summons itself to make them both the same level, but all level 5s already special summon themselves. So we could already just play more level 5s. Yeah, it's not bad though. What does the current Chronomaly deck do? Because I know there's already like a variant of Chronomaly that already kind of works. What does it currently even do? Before it had the negate. I don't even know if I bothered making a video on it. I don't remember. What did it even summon? A few people play it. Oh my god, November 2022. Oh, alright, this hasn't been played in a while. It's been a good while since someone's been trying this. Oh, number monsters? I guess the skill is locking you to numbers. Alright. Well, card seems alright. Just a good way to summon a level 5 and just make your exceed, I guess, since you're just going to be summoning this every game now, so... Easier way to make that, I'm guessing, sure. Good on it. Sounds good. Especially when you got this card that lets you play through stuff now. If you want to use this. Seems alright. Is this the one that you were saying that locks you to only Chronomaly effects? No, it's not. This thing changes the level. Okay. I guess you won't need that if you're playing cards like this. Alright, let's move on. This card seems pretty good. Oh, Family Gift. Family Gift. What does that do? It's in skills. I'm dumb. Can be used the turn you have activated the effect of a Chronomaly spell card. Return one card from your hand to your deck, add one Chronomaly Aztec Mask Golem to your hand from outside of your deck. And who is that? During your main phase, you've activated a Chronomaly spell card. Previously, this turn, you spell summon this card from your hand. But it's a level 4. Wait, also it doesn't lock you. I guess it just helps you activate it though by using the other Chronomaly spell. How does this help you with the summoning? I guess the deck does. I guess I'm thinking too much on this rank 5 coming up, but I assume that that's what the deck was aiming for now. But sure. Why do you want to summon a level 4 in this deck? I thought the whole point was they're trying to get these level 5s out, or this dude, it's level 6. Or did the other level 5s change levels? Or something. I don't know. I'm not much of a Chronomaly person, so what do I know? You have a rank 4 as well, but I thought the point was we're going for rank 5 now. Because the 4 is just kind of... He's alright. It makes things 0, right? I don't know. A lot of OTK stuff, I guess. Anyway, let's move on. Enough Chronomaly. Orchestrion. 2+ effect monsters including an ORCUST monster. Link 4. Okay. This link card cannot be destroyed battle or card effect. Okay, already off to a good start. You can target 3 of your banished machine monsters, shuffle them into the deck. If you do, the attack and defense of any linked monster your opponent currently controls become 0. Any linked monster. And this thing has a forward arrow and a right arrow. So unless your opponent specifically has it in that one zone, you can make it reduce them to 0. Right? Or is that only going to work if they have the arrows pointing forward? Now that'd be co-linked, right? Does it reduce anything to 0? Or does it have to be specifically things that are like co-linked to, like things that have like forward-facing arrows aiming at it? Or is their effects are negated? Now that'd be kind of gross if it negated anything in front of it. You just need to be in one of the zones it points to. So this thing negates 2 zones? Huh. It's kind of gross. Okay. I can see that being fairly good. Is this going to be the Orcust game plan though, or are we just going to go for more generic stuff? Because I'm pretty sure Orcust just likes summoning a billion generic things. But this doesn't sound like a bad boss monster. Oh, it has to shovel 3 for its effects. Oh, I was thinking it was continuous. Oh, its fate isn't continuous. Okay. It's not quick play and it's not continuous. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I was thinking you just had to activate it by sending 3 and it was a continuous effect. That's not what it is at all. Never mind. Okay. In that case, I'm pretty sure we're just going to go with the generic route. And of course, summoning our little boy up here. This little dude over here. Never mind. If it was a quick effect, it'd be kind of nuts, maybe, but yeah. Babble makes this effect a quick effect. Babble? Oh, that's the field spell, right? You can take the effect of Orcust monsters in your graveyard or of link monster you control with Orcust in their original name as quick effect. Okay, okay. So you can make the negate a quick effect. Sure, that'd definitely make it a lot better giving it a negate. Not sure how much you want to rely on a one-off field spell though. That may or may not be searchable by terraforming, depending on if it's terraforming is limited to 1 or not. I will say, generally in like, I know Master's not a good example because they're completely different games, but Orcust just summons a bunch of generic crap, right? Or just summons just like a billion different things. They don't really want to end on just one generic boss monster when they can just end on stuff. But I guess we don't have IP in this game, so I don't really know what you're meant to end on other than things like this, who knows. Further searchable? Okay, you always have it? Okay, okay. It's searchable in the middle of the combo. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we won't be summoning this as their main sort of strat, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, Nina Ruru, Nina Ruru, or something. Come on, how am I to pronounce that? Come on. The Magistus Glass Goddess. 2 level 4 spellcaster monsters. While this card is an equipped card, the equipped monster can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. Shame it's on monsters, so it can't just hit a monster and hit directly. You can use each of the following effects once per turn. You can attach one from this card to target 1 level 4 or higher monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can target 1 Magistus card in your spell and trap card zone, and 1 spell and trap card your opponent controls, destroy them. Okay. So the second effect is quite relevant, and the first effect is quite relevant. The middle one, I don't think we're going to be Xyz summoning this all that often. I think this is mostly going to be the card we're attaching, because it turns this basically into back row removal. Very slow back row removal, wherever it is. Also gives back row removal to like these dudes. But it's not very great to use back row removal on things that are like... Because it's good against IDP or something, when it's something that... Yes, it's good against something like IDP, because opponent doesn't already have... Or if you don't already have a monster in your graveyard for it to target, it's like useless versus compulse. Because your opponent just compulse the monster it's equipped to. But it can make things like this OTK, I guess. Your dude's OTK. Using a creation of the Smugger's Lolly. Goddamn Smug Lolly. It's alright. It's basically just going to be used for more back removal-y stuff, and I guess double attack might come up for killing people. Alright, Endymion, the Magistas of Mastery. You can target 1 Magistus monster you control, equipped with 1 Magistus monster from your extra deck. You can target 1 face-up spell you control, destroy it. If you do, draw 1 card. Then place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. Alright, so it's a draw effect. That is something, I guess. This one isn't the main one's this dude up here, but I guess having a way to attach is something, I guess. There's an extra way to attach to get off their effects, because one of these is a search, right? The little one? This one's a search. Just trying to think about if we even bother using this. I have no idea what Magistus is even going to do without their synchro, though. Does this deck actually have a play when there's without their locking card? What does this Archetype actually have? Does it have any quick effects in it? Like, does it have any way to like pop your opponent's stuff? I have to wait to see what this synchro does, I guess. So I'm actually forgetting what this Archetype does when they're not locking their opponent. This guy's alright, I guess, sure. Alright, moving on. S-Force Edge Razor. Each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters cannot be used as material for the link summon of a link 3 or higher monster. That's kind of annoying. Okay, but not every deck's a link deck. If this card is normal special summon, you can special summon an S-Force monster in your hand in attack position, except S-Force... Okay. Okay, cool. I like that. So you can summon this, it will summon something from hand. That's pretty dope. Alright. I wonder how relevant that first effect will be. Sounds really annoying for specific decks. It just bullies a particular archetype. But yeah, I think it'll be more used for its second effect. So I assume it will help you go into your link plays and stuff. So I think you'd run this, I imagine. Just for its the fact they'll let you go into your link stuff. I see some link stuff coming up. Well, that's actually I see 1 link card coming up. Put in front of the extra monsters, though, no link climbing allowed. Literally a bully card. Alright, I can see this being used though. I like both effects. I like the second effect a lot more, but I think that first effect can be relevant against some particular decks. Especially in Duel Links, there's no main phase 2, so they can't just go into Elite 2, beat over it, then Link climb it afterwards. They literally have to end their turn just to beat over this thing. There's also a lot of cards like Security Dragon, they'll just return this to hand and then continue their plays, so it might not be that great. But just as a starter, it seems okay. It's not a starter. Why not? Is it bad to summon Link from your hand? Seems okay. It is one of their I have no idea. Chat's giving me mixed feelings now. Alright, Crowley the Magistus of Grimoires. You can send one spellcast monster from your hand or field to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. Okay. You can declare one attribute. This card becomes that attribute until the end of this turn. Oh, invoke support. You banish this card from your graveyard. The target one Magistus monster you control. Equip it with one Magistus monster from your graveyard, except one level 4 monster. Right. So I like the, this can also help you play through things, because they're obviously in summon itself, so your opponent disrupts your first summon, you can then special summon this dude from hand. Though discarding in Duel Links is a lot worse than things like Master Duel, because you got less cards to start with. Pretty cool invoke support though, being able to change its attribute. I wonder if we're just gonna play invoked with this. I know you guys said it's part of the same archetype, so maybe we'll just play invoked with this. It's literally Alistair. I wonder if we're actually going to play Invoked Magistus. That's actually going to be the play. Could be. Equip it with one from your graveyard. It's very limited zones, so I'm not really sure if we're going to want to do that or not. But this card's like your other way to exceed someone, right? If you don't open this dude, or Link or Exceeds or Synchro or whatever. If you don't open this man, you'll have to have this one instead, just to be able to have some. That's like 3 cards for a single summon. So you have to discard. I don't know about that one. Not the worst card though. Not the worst card. Alright, Security Force Gravitino. Alright, each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as an S-Force monster force is banished when it leaves the field. It's relevant for what? Like, Phantom Knight? Do you have any archetypes that care about not being banished? Being banished? If this card is normal special summon, you can add one S-Force card from your deck to your hand. Okay, searches. We like search. We do like searches here. Big fan of searches. Makes all of these cards all of a sudden a lot better. So I assume this is a... Oh wait, is this a level 5? Wait, this thing's a level 5. Huh. Okay. So I assume when you do a... You cheat it out? Okay, you'd hope so. Makes the trap banish. Okay, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Okay. We special summon from deck, don't worry. Alright. I'm not gonna lie, this trap card alone might just make the archetype viable. Just this trap card alone. This trap card is actually just nuts. So that's like one of the issues like you have, right? Is their trap card isn't searchable, or is not easily searchable. You have to use like the hand trap in Senju to search for theirs, right? And that's the main reason that archetype isn't that great. But like, this thing is just searchable. It's kind of cracked. The next mummy card works with it. Well, this dude? Okay. Platina. Each of your opponent's monsters in the same column loses 600 attack. Pseudo relevant, but not really. If this card's normal special summon, you target one of your banished S-Force monsters, special summon it. But this guy's level 6. What's going on here? How are we summoning these boys? What's going on here? I mean, this card just alone summons them, but still. One of your banished S-Force monsters. So I assume there's some sort of combo with this going on. There's a combo here. Because why is your S-Force banished all of a sudden? Alright, you're telling me the Ultra? We'll wait till we see the Ultra then to talk more about these. Alright. ORCUST Nightmare. Cannot be straight battle with a Link monster. Okay, 100 attack. You banish this card from your graveyard to target one face-up monster on the field. You cannot special summon monsters except dark monsters. For the rest of this turn, also send one dark machine monster from your deck to the graveyard. Except Orchest. And if you do, target monster gains attack equal to the level of the monster sent to the graveyard times 100 until the end of this turn. Okay. This is just a way to just mill another card, right? Okay. You only use fate on her turn. Just a way to mill another card. Is this a card I assume you never want in your hand? Is this like a one-off in your deck? Just for a mill? Read a mermaid? Oh, it's got nightmare in the name. Ooh, it's a mermaid target. Discard special summon, you discard one card, special summon one nightmare monster from your deck. Then if this is co-linked, you draw one card. Okay, so this thing literally summons this dude. So this has to be a one-off then, right? Especially when mermaid's one-off. You only do this combo once anyway. It's going to be a one-off. Can mermaid summon from hand? Ugh, it's only a hand summon, so you get a brick. Not a garnet. No, not a garnet deck. No. You're not running mermaid. Okay, because mermaid will coincide with the field spell. This stops you playing the field spell if you play this. I see, I see. So it's literally a choice between mermaid or this thing. And this thing makes the Orchest effects quick effects, which seems pretty relevant. The one question I have with this card though is like, is there a reason to actually need this? Because this thing essentially seems like an extra step to do the same thing. Like this thing is, you're sending a dark monster to the graveyard. You're sending a dark machine monster to the graveyard, but couldn't you just send the dark machine monster to the graveyard before using this? And it's just an extra step for some bonus attack? Is that all it's there for? Like, why do we specifically need this card? Over just sending a dark machine monster to the graveyard before, like sending the same dark machine monster you'd send with this effect first, so you wouldn't need, this seems like an extra step. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He really doesn't know. To feel the banish zone? You have more banish? You need more banishes? Sends the world lance. I think you're not really getting what I'm trying to say here though. Like, the thing is, I'm seeing this thing as a dark monster, but couldn't you have just sent the dark monster before this? Like, you're sending this thing to then send something, right? World of Wand. It's not someone can come so around a card effect, blah, blah, blah. If this card is sent to the graveyard, instead of someone with a monster from your hand. You banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished Orcust monsters, special summon it. Oh, so you want to send this thing to then summon it back from this thing, right? Okay, so that makes sense. You send this thing to send wand to then bring back this thing. If you want to. Is he level 7? He's a blade. Okay. No, we've established Spectre we can't play Mermaid because it stops you playing the field spell. Unless you want to play the Mermaid over the field spell. Which there'll probably be some sort of debate about it, I have no idea. I think most people have been saying that you'd prefer to have the field spell over it though. Alright, seems alright. Seems like a combo piece for you Orcust players out there. Seems alright. Seems like a good way to draw a Garnet though, which doesn't make me particularly happy. Maybe I'm gonna have to run a deck with 25 cards so I don't draw my Garnets. Alright, the Magistus Divinity Dragon. Alright. While this card is an equipped card, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by your opponent's spell and trap effects. You can use each of the following effects once per turn. If this single summon card is destroyed, you can destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls. Okay. Something destroying face-ups though. At the start of the damage step, if this card is equipped to battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that monster. Right. I like how this card's literally just really it's similar to like what Mirror Jade does, where it's on the field, your opponent doesn't really want to kill it because it's annoying. There's plenty of removal in this game, like Nightmare Unicorn, for example, that just doesn't destroy. They'll just ruin it. But yeah. Don't think this card is all that great. It does mean that whatever monster you're using can essentially beat over anything bigger than it. Generic, I guess. Not a huge fan of this card. That doesn't really do a whole lot. I'm getting this weird... I'm hoping there's something in this Magistus that's going to do something, because so far it doesn't seem like the archetype's going to be doing anything in Duel Links. But we'll see. Let's have a look at this dude. Iwas? That's got to be how you pronounce that. The Magistus Spell Spirit. Alright, 1 Magistus monster plus 1 spellcaster monster. Okay. When this card is an equipped card, the equipped monster gains 1000 attack and defense. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field, equip this card you control to it. If this card was equipped to a monster by this effect, take control of the equipped monster. Ooh. It can activate its effects. So you fusion summon this thing out to yoink an opponent's monster, and that monster gains stats. And that's kind of funny. Gives you a turn 1 play at least. Actually not the worst. So I guess you play Invoked, and this thing's literally just the turn 1 play for an Invoked until you get Macabre. Is that what's going on here? This is Macabre at home? Until we get Macabre, this is what you're going to be summoning with Alistair now? And it does legitimately gives Invoke to turn 1 play, because Invoke is already pretty good going second because of Purgatrio, so... Not bad, honestly. I was asking for this archetype to have something, and it does have at least something. So the thing is, this thing's literally summonable off of just this thing with this dude, right? Or this dude. Because it just takes 1 Magistus plus 1 spellcast. It's just this dude on normal summon, this dude on normal summon. It's just this. If you have the fusion spell, of course. When we get Macabre, you won't play this. Yeah, true. $35 hand transfer to tier 0. Alright, well at least Magistus has a card that does something, alright? I was worried this archetype would have literally nothing and would do literally nothing, but at least it has something. There is some hope for this archetype yet. Alright, so we've got Security Dragon, which you already know about. Very cool. Rebellion. Alright. During either player's battle phase, target one monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end of the battle phase. Also, other monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of this turn. Don't we have mind control in this game? Why are we playing this? I guess you can use it during your opponent's turn, I guess. Econ at home. This is actually just shit econ, isn't it? Shitter than a normal spell you can get in the game. Sorry, a rarity spell, I'm pretty sure. There's just card ticket card. Instead of Kyber drop. Yeah, this actually just seems like a worse enemy controller, right? I guess Econ is limit 1, that's true. I think the required tribute part is pretty lackluster, since this thing's probably using the same method. We have to use it after something's attacked anyway. You're going for game with this most of the time. And if you're using it to block an attack, you can do that just by changing battle position with Econ anyway. And Econ can be used at any time. So use your opponent's stuff for link summoning, etc. But yeah, it is limited to 1, that is true. But yeah, I think I'll be on the mind control train over this. Is it called mind control? Am I dumb? It's right. Limit 3 card? Yeah. I think I'll mind control over this. Alright, moving on. Onomatopoeia. This is the SR card I don't want to be pulling in my pack, is basically what I'm saying. Onomatopoeia pickup. Alright. When this card is activated, you can add one Onomat card from your deck to your hand, except Onomat pickup. Don't we already have a search spell in that deck? How many search spells do we need? You can target one Zubaba, Ganga, Gogo, or Doodoo monster you control. All monsters you currently control become that monster's level until the end of this turn. Oh, it's a continuous. You can only use the effect once per turn. You activate once per turn. Okay. I mean, the only issue I see with cards like this is, like, Onomat doesn't really struggle to do what it wants to do anyway. Can't you still set up the same boards they used to set up? The deck is already consistent, isn't it? Does the deck need more consistency? Does that deck actually need more consistency? Doesn't it already have a search spell and a skill you can use for it as well? Extra copies of spells? I guess that's true. You can literally search the search spell, right? This one. You can literally search for this thing, I guess? I did read that effect. Never have too much consistency. So we just, I assume we just send up Rhino with this deck still. Does this deck do anything other than set up Rhino pass? Rhino with 1 negate pass, which is a fairly solid board to be fair. Spams Utopia Ray turn 1. I mean, do we care about summoning actual Zubar Gaga stuff, or can we just summon generics? I don't see any locks on this. It's not locking me out of going generics. I'm pretty sure I'll just summon generics. Okay, so you can summon Ray, but I never really like to raise too much of a card. He's like a negate on him, and he's like some like requires equip spells attached to him and all his stuff. think I'd prefer to have just a bunch of generic stuff out in the field. And he's still on the ban. He's not banned, he's just limited. So it stops you playing particular things with him, or stops you playing other powerful cards, I guess. Not sure. Seems good, but I don't really know what I don't think Onomatopoeia even had that much trouble with consistency at the moment, but I guess, sure. Helps you turn your Gargars into rank 6s, even though they already kind of do that. Anyway, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if this is any actual use to Onomatopoeia or not. Alright, Galaxy Trance. Pay 2,000 life points, then target one photon monster in your graveyard, special summon both it and one galaxy monster from your deck with the same level, both in defense position. If you do, each monster's attack becomes 2,000. Also, their effects are negated. Great, more monster reborn effects for Galaxy. They really needed that. You can activate one Galaxy Trance per turn. You cannot normal summon or special summon monsters during the turn you activate this card, except Galaxy or Photon monsters. Alright, so I have to see what this new Galaxy card does first, because currently, the only issue with Galaxy is they're missing their, they're missing their monster that's been taken away from their skill, right? So they just don't have a turn 1. Because going second with Galaxy is still fine, because they just do the exact same thing they were doing when they were meta relevant. They just swarm their board with these big dudes, just wipe your entire field, and has like a billion monster born style effects. They just giga lethal your opponent. So, this is cool and all, but they didn't have a turn 1 still was the issue. It's not bad, it's just they don't have their turn 1 anymore. And this thing does specifically lock you into Photon or Galaxy cards, so if they don't get a new turn 1 variant for it, then it doesn't really do anything. So we'll see what this card does in a second. If this thing is a negate or something, then the deck might be back again. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, they got a turn 1, alright. We'll see. Good card though, good card. Can we search for the Galaxy Photon version? Searchable. Okay. But don't you want the current Galaxy still to get something in the graveyard for it, so you can use this on turn 1? I think there's a bit of a debate, I guess, between which one you want. The searchable one if you want just So I would assume they would just use the current Galaxy seal just to put something in grave for it. So that's what it does, right? I don't even know. I always thought they'd like to use this effect. I don't know. But I guess having it searchable is pretty impactful. Alright, let's move on. Crusadia Power. So this is the card we're missing, right? Target one of the cards we're missing. Target one Crusadia monster you control. That Crusadia monster is unaffected by card effects this turn except its own. Alright, not bad. Though I think aren't we missing something that stops you... Are we missing the search for this thing? I'm looking at skills, aren't I? Crusadia. Oh, I'm missing like the way to search this. Oh yeah, we're missing the link that searches, right? So this isn't searchable. But yeah, this card's actually a lot more decent than it looks, especially in Duel Links, where we can actually sort of play pure Crusadia. Because it literally just, it's Forbidden Lance with her monster effects as well. So this card is actually pretty nuts. So for pure Crusadia, I assume you actually might even consider running this at 3, just as... Because, like, this can replace MST in that deck, right? This card's really good. It's not so good in Master Duel because a lot of that deck doesn't like playing. Actually, yeah, a lot of Crusadia stuff doesn't play. They do play a lot of pure. I don't know. He's just searchable in that game. But this is pretty good. It's literally just Forbidden Lance, but also works with monster effects. It can just be a replacement for MST in that deck. It's just a replacement for it. So not bad, not bad. Pretty good, pretty good. Alright. Artemis the Magistus Moon Maiden. So this is a Link 1. One level 4 or lower spellcaster monster. So typically in like Master Duel, you actually see this card in a lot of places outside of just Magistus, just because you like having a Link 1. Just randomly. If another Magistus monster is normal or special summoned while you control this monster, except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters, equip this card you control to it. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can add one Magistus monster from your deck to your hand. You can use its effects once per turn. Oh, okay, yeah, once per turn. So really good card, because you equip this thing with your dude here, and you get a search out of it. So you can use this to equip this, to search for this dude, to special summon this dude if you wanted to. Or likewise, you could use this guy to equip this, search this, special summon this thing, for example. So, not bad, pretty cool. This is probably going to be more of your turn 1 search, or like if you're going first search, because there's nothing to remove or anything, so you don't need to go for your removal or anything. So you just get a hold of this, get a search out of it, because why not? And you just, whatever, do your fusion somebody stuff or whatever. So not bad, we like searches, and this is a very good search. They'll work with all of your Magistus dudes. Yeah, it's link 1 for spellcast, the only link to sample. Yeah, literally Macabre support. Literally Macabre support. Not bad, not bad. Alright. S-Force Justifies. This is the final S-Force card we've got. Oh no, there's an Ultra coming up, right? It's in a field spell coming up. But this is the only link. Is this the only extra deck we're getting for S-Force? I don't think I remember any others. So one extra deck monster, and it is a Link 3. Okay. 3 effect monsters, including an S-Force. You cannot normal summon or set monsters to a zone this card points to. It points to 2 zones. Wait, you cannot. So it doesn't stop your opponent, right? I hope. Quick effect. You can target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls, negates effects to the end of this turn. Then you can move that opponent's monster to their monster zone this card points to. You can use the effect once per turn. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can banish all monsters this card points to. Yeah, sorry, the you. Okay, thank God. I was gonna say, if this thing locks your that means so annoying. This is stopping you, stops you from setting up extra links if you have it in the middle zone. I see. I mean, a quick effect negate's already pretty nuts. Okay, so Link 3 has a quick effect negate on it. Is that all though? Hey, what the fuck? Being this dude? Anyway, sorry. A bit sidetracked there. Alright, so they have a negate in the Archetype. I want to see what all this moving to particular zone stuff does though, because so far we haven't seen anything that's been particularly great with the whole lining up columns. It doesn't really do a whole lot yet. I'm interested to see if there's anything that's actually really good coming out of it. But sure, if you make this on turn 1, having a quick effect negate's never bad. Just a quick effect negate, then puts them in a zone 2 points to banish when he attacks. Okay. Alright. Longirsu, the ORCUST Orchestrator. Okay, what's with these ORCUST puns? Alright, 2 effect monsters including an ORCUST monster. This linked card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Okay. You can target two of your banished machine monsters, shuffle them into the deck, then you can send one linked monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Okay, not bad. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. Okay. Good bit of removal there. And also can't be destroyed by card effects. Yeah, so pretty important in duels when you only have, like, F all zones. This thing is probably going to actually have a lot more targets than it normally should have. Not bad, not bad. Just another source of removal. Can't really complain. Also a good way to recycle some of your ORCUST stuff that you're banishing. It's immune to Dark Hole, we don't need White Hole anymore. True, you're right. Damn, that might just be the best chat comment today. Banger comment. Oh yeah, Battle makes it a quick effect too. True. Quick effect removal. If you ever put Slank in the arrow it's facing to, which is literally 2/3 of your 3 slots. That's actually crazy. I guess people just have to have mass MST, right? I guess the debate for Bin Lance versus MST, if this thing becomes meta, is just you have to run MST. This thing can't be on the field. That'd be too rough. Oh, your Orca's looking kind of nutty, though. Not gonna lie. Alright, Utopia the Lightning. You can also exceed summon this card by using a rank 4 Utopia monster you control as material. Transfer material as this card. Cannot be used as material for an exceed summon. If this card battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Once per turn, during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, while this card has Utopia as material, quick effect, you attach materials from this card. Its attack becomes 5,000 during the damage calculation. Alright, so this card is really cool, but unfortunately, I don't think it's something to get too excited over. I think you might see this being played like here and there, just because if you have a rank 4 deck, you can chuck this thing in there, and it's just a 5,000 attack sort of whenever you feel like it. But yeah, it shouldn't really matter too much. But I do expect to just see play just randomly in any deck that's like a rank 4 specific deck that just has extra deck space. Because it's not the worst. Just a 5,000 attack beat stick whenever you want it that stops your opponent being able to use card effects and shit. Yeah, it can out certain annoying monsters. But yeah, it's nothing to get too excited about. It just sort of just depends on it only really be used in decks that just have a ridiculous amount of space for rank 4s. Why is this like Cockers debate coming up in chat? We're not bringing back the cock, alright, guys? Keep that cock locked away, alright? Alright. Chronomaly Vamana? 2 level 5 monsters. Alright, this card's actually good, by the way, because keep in mind it's a generic. Once per turn, quick effect. You can target one face-up monster on the field, and when it exceeds monster or Chronomaly monster in your graveyard, that monster on the field gains half the attack of that monster in the graveyard until the end of this turn. Then attach that monster from your graveyard to this card as material. Alright, so that's one effect of it. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you attach 2 materials from this card, negate the activation. And that's the effect we all care about. This is a fantastic turn 1 for Chronomaly or any deck that summons level 5s. Yeah, Cyber Dragon, that kind of thing. Any deck that summons level 5s can use this card, and they now have a negate. So I'm actually thinking this might be enough to make Chronomaly actually like a deck that's playable now. It should be. Because Chronomaly was already a deck that was like I know I was showing like before that it hasn't been played that much recently, but it's a deck that's like, it exists. Like it wasn't awful. And now it has like an actual proper turn 1. Because it's going second, I'm pretty sure it does a lot of OTK stuff. So this should be enough to make that deck actually playable now. So you should expect a Chronomaly video out of me, I'm pretty sure. Just from this card alone. It should be enough. Yeah. This is why Labyrinth Builder died. Hey chat, if you remember to like the video, true. Like the video and hit that subscribe button. Wowee, then you can know when I go live next buying packs to make these decks. Wowee. Can I be legit good now? I hope so. I think that it should be enough. It really should be. Because I'm pretty sure that deck already has a banger going second, and they just have a turn 1 now. Should be good. If I hit it, you lose a sub. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Alright, on to the Ultra Rares. So first of all, we have Evac. Good stuff. I really wanted this card, because currently I have 2 IDP, and I really want a third card, because I don't own a third IDP, and this will make that third slot. Because I'm personally not a huge fan of the Yoinky card. I don't like that my opponent just MSTs it, then I lose the card and get annoyed. So I was hoping to get, yeah, I'm going to definitely use this card a lot more. Definitely going to use this card when I get it. Alright. Compulsory Evacuation Device. Target one monster on the field. Oh, why am I reading this card? Here, we all know what it does. Alright. S-Force Bridgehead. Same with the Bridgehead, okay. When this card is activated, you can add 1 S-Force monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, pretty good. When an opponent's monster declares an attack on your S-Force monster in its same column, you can activate this effect. That monster you control cannot be destroyed in battle. Blah, blah, blah. So it's basically just a search card. Sure. And we can use Terraforming to grab this thing. So that's 4 searches in the deck. Still haven't seen the what we summoning these dudes with yet outside of this dude. Right, there's one more Ultra Rare coming up. So I don't really talk more about this. This is just 4 searches. Banger. Best field spell in the entirety of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just a search spell? Now that has to go to Mystic Mine. Let's be real here. Alright. Kirikara Divine Carnates. So we just got this. Didn't we just get this in Master Duel as well? Isn't this just like discount Nibiru? Cannot be normal summon or set. Must be special summon from your hand by attributing all face-up monsters in the field that activate their effects this turn in your opponent's monster zone. Gains 1500 attack for each monster attributed to special summon this card. During your end phase, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, special summon it to your field. Alright. So this card is interesting. Will it ever see play in Duel Links? I don't know. Duel Links is very, very, very back row dependent. There's very few decks, like other than Phantom Knight, that set up like a proper negate turn 1. Then again, I'm pointing out a bunch in this box that are going to. So most of the times might Tribute 1 be a 3k. But Tribute 1 3k is actually like in a life point game of 4,000? That's quite a bit. We are getting quite a lot of quick effects going on here. I can see how well, but this comes very popular in this game. Which is kind of cool considering it will get no play in Master Duel because you just play Nibiru instead of this thing. It's not a quick effect? Yeah, we're well aware it's not a quick effect. It's a cool ass card. Literally one single effect makes it pretty good in Duel Links. I know, because the whole like debate for this in Duel Links, I think, is like, would you prefer this or just have like an extra trap card in your deck? Because obviously it makes OTKing a lot easier, playing through boards a lot easier, but just having like this or just having like a Book of Moon, I don't know. Aren't Kaijus just better? Also debatable, because Kaijus give your opponent a monster seal, whereas this thing can literally just lethal your opponent if they use an effect. Or if they use 2 effects, you actually just lethaling your opponent. Yeah, Dark Roller's debatable if you want to use that instead. Although I think I'd prefer... I don't know. It's sort of wait and see sort of thing. You take a specific meta for this thing to be playable, but I can definitely see a world in specifically Duel Links where this would be playable. Definitely see a world in Duel Links where this is playable. It was played in a winning deck with YCS London. Yeah, the card isn't bad. It's just, yeah, it just takes a very specific meta, I think, where you'd play it. Which I really think could happen in Duel Links, so... I'd keep an eye on this card. It might pop up eventually. Like, you probably see some... Even now, you probably see some tournaments where people are just playing this for the lols, just because the card art's fucking brilliant. Because honestly, if you get a prismatic variant of this, I might consider playing it just because it's prismatic, okay? I might just play it. That card art is brilliant, and it is a pretty good card, so... We'll have to wait and see. If it's a very quick effect, sort of heavy meta, and we're not using as much back row, then it'll definitely pop up. Alright, Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragons. This is apparently the replacement for Galaxy Eyes Turn 1. 2 light monsters, including a monster with 2,000 or more attack. If this card is link summoned, you target one Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. During your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can discard one Photon card and one Galaxy card, or discard one Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, then target one Special Summon monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Wait, I can summon some Blue Eyes, can't I? This is Blue Eyes support right here? Are we giving Blue Eyes a turn 1 while we're at it? I guess you have to actually have a Galaxy or Galaxy Photon Blue Eyes, I guess. Alright. If I just like target special summon, destroy it. You have to ask, yeah. You have to play Blue Eyes Galaxy, which probably isn't a thing. It's not the greatest turn 1 I've ever seen in the world, but it is a turn 1. This plus some background, I'm sure you can play Galaxy. Is this enough to make Galaxy top tier again, though? It's safe to book a moon, at least. That's a link. So technically, in some ways, it's better than the previous, because it's actually safe to book a moon. No, you don't think Galaxy will be meta with this thing? Wouldn't take much to make Galaxy meta again. Going second is pretty crazy. So I don't know, maybe if they just have this sort of pseudo-playable turn 1, just having such a crazy going second, maybe they are actually top tier worthy again. Who knows? It's not the worst. I think it's nice that they're having sort of a much weaker going first play than what they used to have. But I think it's kind of... I was going to say I kind of like that they're getting a replacement turn 1, but I'm not going to lie. I don't want to see Galaxy anymore. I'm really sick of that deck. It was around for too long. This is just going to encourage it to come back. At least it's more video content for me, I guess. I just need one of these that I can make a video on it, so sure. They're going so many better with Dengiso access. I don't think they really care too much. They're going second is crazy no matter how they're playing it. So I don't think this really changes much. Alright, well they've got a turn 1 again. We'll see if this is enough to make Galaxy, like... How much this will affect Galaxy's play rate, at least. Alright. Galatea the Orchest Automatum. 2 effect monsters including an Orchest monster. This linked card cannot be destroyed in battle. You can target one of your banished machine monsters, shuffle it into the deck, then set one Orchest spell and trap card directly from your deck, which I assume will most of the time be your field spell. But it can also include... Do we actually have any other Orchest spell and trap cards? There's a draw one, right? The draw one's used a lot. Do they have a negate? They have a negate mastered, alright. Must be this one, I guess. Useless. And useless. So basically you can use this one or this one with it, right? Damn, searchable return sounds crazy, actually. Like, if you already opened Babel and you can search this, that's actually kind of nuts. If terraforming isn't limited to one, you have like 2 chances of grabbing this, you can probably search this more often than not, which would be actually nuts. Don't underestimate draw 2s, boys. Yeah, draw for more back row smile. Actually. Yeah, obviously Galatea seems nuts. Galatea do be kinda nuts. Stop it on your way to climbing into your Longistu over here. Having your field spell active. Ready to quick effect pop anything you summon in front of it. Or just draw a couple of cards for some more back row. Because your opponent can only play with one zone with this thing on the field, so... Surely this deck's actually meta, right? It has to be. Orcust has so much, like... They have so much recursion and shit. They just summon so many monsters. They're one of the few decks that can, like, actually, like, play through back row as well, a lot of the time. Surely this is meta, right? Surely. It actually seems so good. We haven't even got to our boy over here yet. But I just like this already. Just link climbing into this dude. It's your turn 1. It's already pretty nuts. Keep ready. I've already read it. All the stuff. Crazy engine too. Is core really that useless in Duel Links? If you decide to go with Mermaid, you'd end up on... with one Eyebly? I don't know. I think you run more than 20 cards for Orcust? Maybe. Depends on if you want to draw your, if you want to draw this man or not. Opening hand Nightmare is a bit of a nightmare. Normally overlay Ding on top of Galatea. Oh. Okay. Alright, moving on. We'll have a look at our boy here, Mr. Rapper. Mr. Rapper Chronomaly. Each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters can only target that monster for attacks. Okay. Quick effect. You can banish one S-Force card from your hand, return this card to hand if you special summon S-Force monster from your deck. Ah, I see. So you have 3 of this, and the terraforming. You have a billion ways to get a hold of any of your dudes over here, including your search, which can search for an S-Force card, or this dude, which can bring back your special summoned S-Force card, or banished S-Force card you just banished with this dude. Right. I'm not sure about this S-Force deck, because that's like, we've gone through all the cards now. We have a negate, a potential negate, we have a potential pop as well, Ghost Ogre style effect, and we have this absolutely incredible trap card. It seems like a very playable deck. It doesn't seem super common that you end on Justify turn 1 though, right? That's a Link 3. But I feel like you don't need it. Just having this thing alone should be enough. Like, just literally this card or this card to grab this dude. Just to search this thing is just enough, right? I guess that's only a bounce 1. You kind of want a bit more than bounce 1. If you open this guy, you can banish him. Yeah, this is a 3-off for sure. Wait, S-Force is actually so expensive. You need 3 of this, and you want 3 of this. Oh, God. The best combo ends on 3 monsters. The question is, do you bother going into this, or you just want to have more targets for Chase? So I think I want more targets for Chase. Summon Rapper, use effect, banish, grab from hand to special planet from deck. And effects to summon grab. Grab an effect to add S-Force Chase. 3 monsters plus 3 bouncers. Yeah, so we don't use this dude, right? We just don't care about him. We just want more targets for Chase. This guy's kind of weird. Damn. Yeah, S-Force seems pretty crazy. Compulse for 2, Compulse for 3. Does sound fucking nuts. S-Force has got to be at least a viable deck. At least viable, if anything. It's going second doesn't seem all that great, because I don't really have any... There's no, like, super big beaters or anything. So I guess you sort of just set up your Chase and then pass back again. And a gate plus a bounce one, I guess. We'll see. I do like to look at this deck. I think it'll be playable. I don't like how expensive it is, though. The fact you have to have 3 of this Ultra and 3 of this Ultra is kind of tilting. I guess you can get away with 2 of this and just have a less consistent deck playing 6 of these dudes, but I don't know about that. I think I'd prefer to have the full 7 with Terraforming. Alright. Moving on. Zoroa, the Magistus of Flame. You can target one Magistus monster you control, equip it with 1 Magistus monster from your extra deck. If this card becomes equipped with a Magistus monster card, you can special summon level 4 monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, except itself. No. Yeah, except itself. I thought it could summon itself. Can I not? Oh, I actually can't. Okay. Its fates are negated. You can use once per turn. So this is your main way to go into your Synchro or your Xyz. But by the looks of things, aren't we just going into the fusion? So it's not as useful as it is in Master Duel. Because aren't we just gonna go into the I guess another way to get a hold of a you only got 2 dudes that actually grab extra deck monsters, so I guess you really want to just use but you want to use both of these dudes, obviously at 3. But the extra summon isn't as useful. I guess it just gives you an extra material on field or something. Oh yeah, we have Ray first, because Ray's right. Literally the other Magistus card's right next to it, so... If this card is normal special summon, you have to take one of these effects. Add 1 Magistus spell and trap card from your deck to your hand. Return one of your banished level 4 or lower spellcaster monsters to your graveyard. You banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Magistus monster you control. Equip it with 1 Magistus monster from your graveyard, except a level 4 monster. Okay. So this dude can summon this dude from hand, which will give you a search, if you want to. So I guess this dude's special summon effects more for like OTK and going second. Because going first, I'm pretty sure we're just summoning this. Summoning this and calling it a day. Yeah, because you can use the, you can give this thing double attack, right? You can use this thing to search for the fusion spell. Fusion summon this thing out, then you could use, this thing's attack to equip it with, this thing, so it has double attack. So 2800 double attack, that's pretty good. Not sure I'm super convinced on Magistas as a deck though, just by reading these effects. They seem okay, but I don't know. It seems like an awful lot of work to have like one quick effect suck. I don't know if it's enough. I guess going second, you can summon out this dude and equip him with things, I guess. He's not that great. I guess just these two cards together would give you this thing with like a double attack on it and a search for, I don't know, a search for an attack buff. So you have like a 3600 or 3500 double attack. It's not awful. Alright. Should be playable. At the very least, it should be playable, so. Alright. Oh, you can also just make rank 4s out of this, right? There's no locking going on, so you just make a rank 4 if you need to. Alright. Dingirsu, the Orchest of Evening Star. 2 level 8 monsters. So, generic. You can only exceed summon, once per turn. You can also exceed summon this card by using an Orcust link monster you control as material. So you can just summon this thing outright with this dude or this dude if you want to. If a card you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can attach material from this card instead. If this card is split or summoned, you activate one of these effects. Send one card your opponent controls to the graveyard. So very important. Sending, and it's non-target. So this is getting rid of anything and forces your opponent to use that back row or whatever it is, or they might potentially use it without being able to respond. Attach one of your banished machine monsters to this card as material. Alright. So yeah, this card is nuts. It's a literally generic, so any deck that can play level 8, so Galaxy or whatever you feel like playing, can summon this thing, send something to the graveyard, and yeah, you can summon it with just this dude. Summon this thing out, summon this thing on top. So you've got a pretty nuts turn 1 play, and you've got a pretty nuts go in second play as well. It's also a card that I think in particularly the Orcust deck, you might actually want to play it. You would probably want to play multiple of this, right? I wonder what the ratios are for extra deck for Orcust. You probably do want 2 of this or 2 of this. They are both very, very important cards. Why is it that Orcust seems cheaper though than the Magistus and cheaper than the cheaper than the security force? Only one Ning, you reckon? Probably get away with only one. It's like the deck hasn't got other options anyway. It has a lot of recycling in it. 2 Gala, 1 Ningirsu, you reckon? That sounds pretty good. What if... Not gonna lie, this box seems hella exciting, but it also seems hella expensive. God damn. Like, I want to make a Magistus deck, I want to make an S-Force deck, I want to make a Orcust deck, and my god, the amount of ultra-rares you need for this shit is ridiculous. 3 of this, want 3 of this, you want 3 of this, you want 3 of this, you want 2 of this, 1 of this. I only need 1 of this, I guess, for Galaxy, so if you're a Galaxy player, you can rejoice. So same with Chronomaly, actually, they only really need 1 of this. Plenty of video content though, even if I don't get, like, I doubt I'll be able to get all the ultras I want for this. So even if I don't get enough for like a Magistus video, I still have at least Galaxy, I have at least Chronomaly, and I'll 100% make an Orcust video because everyone will want to see it. So I'll have Orcust, I'll have Galaxy, I'll have Chronomaly, and then I guess just either S-Force or Magistus, whichever one Konami lets me have, via RNG gambling. Preferably I want to make S-Force though, because Magistus seems like, it seems like it's a deck, but I don't know. The one suck does seem pretty gimmicky. Orcust will be a nightmare. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. What do you think, chat? What's your thoughts on this box? Is this a banger of a box or what? Are we excited or what? Time for Game over Orcust? Oh yeah, the wallet's gonna be hurting. Onomat? Maybe I'll look to see what people are doing with Onomat. I'll see if anyone's coming up with any sort of cool combos or something. But if it's just sort of doing the same stuff it's always done, I don't know if I'll bother. It's gonna be pretty boring to make an Onomat video if it's just doing the exact same thing it currently does, just with a bit more consistency. You know, that's kind of boring. But we'll see. Especially if I don't have enough content to make, then maybe I will. Orcust over the lightning. Seven out of 10 Orcust carries it. I think there's plenty of other cards in here. I like how it's like Chronomaly and Galaxy are both decks. Just like get one-off cards from this, and you have like a full functioning, like upgrade to your deck. It should be fun, I reckon, especially with Compulse in here and Security Dragon as well, for people that miss them. Next box is Speedroid. Hey, I'm worrying about the current box, alright? I'm worried about the next box next month. Can Gearsu during your opponent's turn with quick effects? How do you link summoning during your opponent's turn? Hey, this thing can't remove during your opponent's turn, right? Because it's on special summon that it does it. Right? You can't. This thing doesn't quick effect to remove things. Oh yeah, we already know this guy can. We were talking about that earlier. You can provide this during your opponent's turn. Well, yeah, but then we don't have to. We don't care about being a quick effect because we already know it does that. It just does it on special summon. That's like do with the field spell making things quick effects then. Anyway, boys, I reckon that's going to do it for today's box review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think that's just about it. We've gone through all the cards. Everything. There's a lot of stuff to be excited for here. Even if you don't want to go into for Orcust, you guys probably own at least Galaxy or Chronomaly, one of the two. And if you do, huge upgrades for your decks. Even just going for Compulse makes the box almost worth it. So yeah, pretty banger of a box. Pretty expensive though for people that aren't playing Galaxy or Chronomaly. You had fun? Thank you. Glad you had fun. Alright, boys, we're getting the stream there. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff. And there should be a box opening stream when this stuff goes live, whatever day that is, at whatever point. Shouldn't be too far away. Alright, boys, it's been fun. Catch